Khloe Kardashian was forced to drive without a license when she was just 14 years old, and Kris Jenner has come under fire for this decision. On the first episode of the fifth season of The Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian, who is 39 years old, shared her story of how she had to take charge when she was a young teenager. In the first episode of the new Hulu series, which was released on Thursday, Khloe Kardashian confessed that her mother had lied to her about holding a license when she was only 14 years old. As she was taking her sisters to school, the creator of Good American remembered a horrible episode that occurred while she was bringing her mother home after she had been drinking. The matriarch of the family was criticized by users on Reddit for traumatizing Khloe while she was still a little child. Within that family, Khloe was the very embodiment of Cinderella. When I was 14 years old, I was yanked out of school and forced to drive automobiles in order to take care of my children, one lady said. Khloe's account about driving while Kris was under the influence of alcohol was absolutely ridiculous. Indeed, Khloe is a poor person, a second person commented. It sounds like something that would be enough to terrify any teenager, and Kris was just laughing at it. According to a third person, I have the impression that Scott was aware that it was not a funny story, and Khloe does not appear to be ready to face the fact that this was not okay. Oh my God, Kris is a very awful mother to her children. If you are intoxicated, you should let your 15-year-old child drive you. According to a fourth person, she really treated Khloe like the child who was thrown away. Khloe's child chauffeur story was of course horrifying, but I always expect the worst of PMK, a different person said. Kourtney Kardashian's ex-boyfriend, Scott Disick, was seen in the moment seated with Khloe Kardashian and Kris, who was 68 years old at the time. At the time when Khloe was talking about the age of Mason, the eldest kid of Scott and Kourtney, she remembered how she used to transport her sisters to school when they were the same age as Mason. Her mother had lied to her, telling her that she possessed a California government-issued license. She acknowledged this instance. A government-issued license in the state of California is something I think I made up, Kris says in a confessional. It's something I could have made up. When I was younger, things were a little bit different. She proceeded by saying, "Don't judge me until you've placed yourself in my position." Khloe then referred to the scenario as Bulls ****, and she went on to say that her mother would have placed her children in foster care if the tale had been made public at the time. After some time had passed, Khloe remembered a particular incident in which she had driven her mother home from the Standard Hotel after she had been intoxicated. During the time that they were driving on the highway, Kris vomited outside of the side window of the front seat. However, the wind caught the vomit and blew it back inside the vehicle, which Khloe said caused her blue suede jacket to get damaged. As a result of the discovery, Scott was taken aback and proceeded to inquire about it in order to get further information. He also said, "This is insane." Kris Jenner has said that Khloe Kardashian was her right-hand man in the past, notably in her tell-all novel, Kris Jenner and All Things Kardashian, which was published in January of 2011. "I would have had to give up so much if I had not had Khloe there to help," she remarked of her third oldest child. "You are there to help me. Without Khloe, I don't know how I would have gone on with my life," she said in her article on her built-in babysitter. She said that Khloe's assistance made it possible for her to leave the home, and that Khloe's younger sisters, Kendall and Kylie, continue to consider her to be their second mother. Another stunning event that took place at the launch of the fifth season of The Kardashians was the presence of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who is 32 years old. While Kim, 43, and Gypsy were having a conversation on jail reform, Kim was observed knocking on Gypsy's door. After entering a guilty plea to the charge of second-degree murder in 2016, Gypsy was released from jail in December. Her abusive mother, who suffered from Munchausen by proxy, was murdered with her assistance, and she assisted her lover in planning and carrying out the murder. A number of viewers expressed their displeasure over the inclusion of Gypsy on the program and criticized the Hulu series for being desperate. The Kardashians will milk whoever is viral at the moment for relevancy, a critic stated in an article. This is a sign of desperation. Seriously, Gypsy Rose, are you serious?